Hi, and welcome to AI Terms Explained for Developers. Yet another video, and this video is about the chat completion, which is one of the more basic concepts we have in AI. Because the chat completion or chat client is essentially just a request response against the AI. If it's either online or offline, doesn't matter. It's a request, a response, just like you have a HTTP request against an API. And the only thing is that your request is your question or command to the AI, and the response is its answer back to the user. Despite its name, chat completion, it's not only what happens in chatbots. It can of course also be happening behind the scenes if you have some webhook and it gets an input in terms of a question or some thing you want to review or stuff. You can of course do this behind the scenes. You don't need to put a chatbot interface on top of this. Agents could do it, and but again, any kind of AI. So it's just a name, and it's more about the question and answer part. The exchange between the two systems with the various APIs is of course just text, but behind the scenes, everything happens in tokens, which there's a specific video on. And in order to use it, you can use prompt engineering, you can use temperature, you can use reasoning efforts, or structured output to control the various input and outputs. Because in the very, very basic example, you can see it's just 3-4 lines of code. You get your client and you ask a question, and then you get a response. That request you sent can of course have more additional options, files, tools that can be called RAG data that are being included and so on. While the response back can of course have additional things like usage stats, number of tokens used for the call, but also in multimodal versions, images and text back and whatever you're working with. But the pure and simple default is very, very simple with 3 lines of code like this. Of course, you get your model from somewhere where you have some kind of endpoint and key. That endpoint can be up in the cloud somewhere, or it could be a local host with an offline model. But that is actually everything there is to it in terms of chat completion, because it's the basic stuff. You can't really use any AI without it. So it is important to learn, of course. But that's it. See you in the next one.